This is the Gospel for the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time, according to Matthew. Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer greatly from the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. Then Peter took Jesus aside and began to rebuke him. "God forbid, Lord, not such thing shall ever happen to you." He turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are an obstacle to me. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. What profit would there be for one to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? Or what can one give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Man will come with his angels in his Father's glory, and then he will repay it all according to his conduct." This is the Gospel of the Lord. This Gospel reminds me of a writer, a very important literature writer of the 19th century, Fyodor Dostoevsky. I did work about him on theology because he's a very important writer. When he was a young man, he wrote his first novel. This novel was very successful, and he thought he was going to become the most important writer. But when he wrote his second novel, this second piece of art was not as successful as the first one, and he was very disappointed by it. And he thought, what this happened? It's impossible. And he went like depressed for a long time. And later he recovered and became the writer we know. But this experience of being successful and then have some problems, some disappointments is very important. This kind of things also happen in our life. I'm thinking about Peter. Last Sunday we see that Jesus asked about his identity, and Peter replied very appropriately, and he said, "You are the Son of the living God." And Jesus congratulated him in a very important way. And today we are reading we just read the following passage. So right after his success or his right answer, he's going to do wrong things now. Jesus is announcing about his suffering. He's going to be on the cross. He's going to be refuted by everyone. And Peter, maybe led by some pride or something like that, took Jesus aside and began to rebuke him. This is unthinkable. And Jesus' answer is very strong. "Get behind me, Satan." So in one moment, Peter said something very important, and the following moment, he said something wrong. And maybe Peter is an image of you and me. We are this kind of people. We can do beautiful things, and the following day or just after this moment, doing wrong things. This mix of holiness, let's say, and evil are in our hearts. And it's important because we are not going to get surprised by it. We have to accept that we are very weak persons, weak people, and we need to be very close to Jesus in order not to get to be proud of our good works, but just to be aware of what we are. We are just weak people, Son of God, and we need every time help. And we as well see the weaknesses and the good things of other people. and we don't have to think that when people do good things they are like holy people, and we don't have to condemn or to be judgmental about other people when they do wrong things. It's like being aware of the reality of the human nature. We have good things and bad things all mixed in our hearts. This awareness is going to keep us close to Jesus and be very understandable with other people. Let God give us this grace and learn a lot from Peter and the other apostles. God bless you.